and ghosties, and welcome to the 5th haunt hunt already. 5th. We have done 5 haunt hunting journeys already. Well, we're about to start the 5th haunt hunting journey, I guess. We've done 4. It is the 21st. I think it's the 21st of July right now. We are still, I'd say, in like the middle of July, but definitely getting more towards the end. Now, I really quick wanted to say, I don't know if this showed up for most of you or some of you or what, but when I was watching the haunt hunt back on my TV, when I would set the camera over here, there was this weird like metal tin can sound, but it didn't show up on my computer or on my phone when I watched it back. I'm gonna just not do that. It was a nice place to put my phone when I parked, but I'm just gonna not do that from now on because I don't know if it was my TV or if it was the footage. I don't really know, but I just don't want to risk that. It was kind of annoying, so I do apologize if that happened for you. But if I look a little like worn out or anything, I did just get done with a couple hours of some working, and I am ready to do some haunt hunting to kind of, well, not sit back and relax, to kind of start diverting my energy to all things spooky. Actually, I was thrifting and I did find these. I found this vintage set of lighted luminaries by Kurt Adler. These are so cute. I need to I didn't actually look at them. I don't think this person ever used them. I don't know if these are like actually old or if the packaging just looks vintage, but I'm obsessed with the packaging. Anyways, I am going to go to the HomeGoods that we saw the Bat Bar in. It was like halfway through last week's haunt hunt. It is also where we found the Joanna Parker mug, so that's kind of what's like pulling me back in there. And then we may end up at another HomeGoods that's kind of close and possibly a Marshall's, but I'm definitely not gonna force myself to go there. I haven't had that much luck there this year. But the Kirklands and adventuring to other locations definitely isn't today, just because I'm not in that area. So we're going to HomeGoods. Like, what else? Did I have anything else to say? So thank you guys so much for all of the super nice comments about the 4-wick candle, cauldron candle that I made. I was so happy with how that turned out, and all of you were like super nice about it. I have burned it a couple times. It smells so good, and I am absolutely obsessed with it. I'm so happy that I took the leap and did it. I'm not a huge DIY person. This year, I've been getting a little bit more into some projects, whether that be cooking or actual painting projects or making the candle. It's just been very healing for me in this slightly more difficult season so far. Which, by the way, if you guys are interested in seeing some cauldron cooking videos, please let me know. I'm gonna be doing basically a marathon of cauldron cooking for a certain special reason, a little project-y thing that I'm kind of brewing up. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of cauldron cooking of stews and soups over the next couple weeks. So if you guys want to see some of them, let me know, but I definitely don't think I can make a video of all of them because I'm gonna be making a lot of different soups. But anyways, I'm babbling on as per usual. So I am going to creep my way over to HomeGoods. Fingers crossed they have honestly some more Joanna Parker, or there's these these vintagey placemats that I've seen people pick up. They look like postage stamps kind of. They're super cute, and you guys know anything vintage I'm all here for, or vintage inspired. Let's Billy Butcherson re-sew my mouth shut, and let's get let's get to HomeGoods. Alrighty, ghouls and ghosties, we have arrived at our first HomeGoods for today, and right when I walked in, I noticed all of these facial cutout stands for children. I have never seen so many in one place. I also noticed the triple ghost blow mold. I've seen this a lot online, but I hadn't seen it yet in person. I think it's actually a battery-operated blow mold instead of plug-in. There was also a new cart of stuff coming out that had a couple new things, like this female kind of Victorian skeleton bust. They had more of the Sesame Street stuff, and they also had these fancy witch's boots up top. I definitely haven't yet seen the pickleball skeleton. I do want his shirt though. And this nerdy Bride of Frankenstein is one I don't think I've seen any years in the past. This guest check I thought was a really cute idea for a wall art, but I just don't really like how HomeGoods did it. They also had some of the candelabras. I haven't seen them in a while, so I feel like this was a rare sighting. They had this Fountain of Mortals that is a knockoff of the full-size outdoor fountain at Grandin Road. I kind of wish this was a countertop water fountain. That would be really cool, and I would absolutely grab it, but its eyes just light up. It's still cool. I just wish it used water. So I moved on to the area where I found the Joanna Parkers last time, and what do you know, I spotted yet another Joanna Parker. I have kind of a different version of this cat bowl, so I am gonna pick this up. It is so cute. They also had this chip and dip set that I hadn't seen yet. It looked a lot like Rae Dunn, but actually I don't believe it was. This mug, however, was Rae Dunn. It was actually pretty cute. I like the bone handle to it. This Snoopy in a coat mug was really cute. I don't know if this is supposed to be Halloween or fall, but either way, I love his coat and how it looks like a candy corn. I noticed the skeleton that holds the wine bottle is also back this year. This was a new cutting board I hadn't seen. I have not seen a ghost with his arms out like this. I've only seen the ones where they're kind of floating or flying away. They also had brought back these small baking dishes. I actually do have this set and I use them as dip dishes, like for ranch or ketchup or whatever I use. There was this mixing bowl with bats on it that I thought was really cute, and this pan that was ghost shaped with a ghost face. They had some tarot card mixing bowls and some 3D ghost mixing bowls as well. They had the bat matching small dishes to go with that mixing bowl too. These were actually measuring cups that were shaped like 3D ghosts, and then they had these straw glasses that had costumed Peanuts characters on them. They also had the return of Caro in the bathroom section, but unfortunately I don't like the Caro pieces this year. They're too much of the bows and pink stuff, and I always had wanted them to make full-size towels, so I'm really bummed that it's this year they choose to do that. There was this really cute figure of a ghost quickly biking with a pink pumpkin in his basket. So I actually decided to head towards my local Marshalls and HomeGoods since this was supposed to be the day that they got a new truck in. Went to Marshalls first because usually I don't have as much luck here, and they had some larger pieces they were starting to put out, but most of them were ones we've seen, a couple blow molds and a large ghost. They also had some of the tumblers and cups and food storage items that I think they already had in different aisles before, but they just put them together now. A couple of them were definitely new though, like these wine glasses that had the embossed ghosts on them. And on the other end stand, again, just a couple more items we definitely have seen here before. They've just been moving stuff around, I think. In the actual aisle, they had quite a few things we've seen at HomeGoods, just kind of select items here and there, and definitely not like the best stuff we see at HomeGoods. A lot of the wooden signs and shaped pillows. They also had the Medusa fountain, and I was wondering if it'd be the same price, and it was. They had these bat embossed little canisters that I thought were really cute. I love that gray lavender color to them. And then they had these cat embossed oil decanters. I love those too. A lot of pillows with skeletons and bats. They also had these black cats and bats too. And then they had a lot of the larger fluffy ghosts, and they had the Peanuts Snoopy Dracula pillow. They had some sheets that I hadn't seen yet at HomeGoods, and a lot of candles. I moved on to HomeGoods because honestly, I just want to see the good stuff, and this is where the good stuff is. And the return of the UFO skeleton has occurred because I found this snow globe. There were actually a couple of them. And then they had some scary movie trivia I was kind of tempted to pick up. They also had a different version of the biking ghost. This one had a ghost dog in the basket. I thought this was so cute. They had this candelabra that could hold 3 stick candles. It was a skeleton holding 2 skulls, and the skulls are what hold the candles. They also had another one of the circusy looking witches. This one was more classic color. They had some black cat shaped stick candles, and they also had another kind of shadow box bat wall art. Ghouls and Ghosties, I almost screamed when I spotted this set. I have not seen this posted anywhere online, and this couldn't be more my aesthetic, vintagey looking Halloween. I love toile, I love black and white. You guys know I got every single piece. Here was another new granite cheese board that I hadn't seen. This one could spin around, which was pretty handy, and I like the bat silhouettes in it. I also hadn't seen this blue sky item. I like the eyeballs on the side of him. They had a couple placemats. There's a certain placemat set that I'm looking for that I cannot find yet, so I'm hoping I do soon, but it was not at this HomeGoods. In the back, they had this very large skeleton sitting on a couch, which was a total vibe. They also had some more shaped candles. This one was really cute if you're a cat lover. It was really detailed. And then they had some Dracula-shaped ones that I kind of liked, but the paint job wasn't the best. They had this Bride of Frankenstein and Frankenstein kind of holographic looking canister ones, and then a small cauldron one. This was a sheet set that was unfortunately a queen because I love this. I almost thought it matched the aluminum set I just found, and it almost does. I really, really wish they had this in king. They had a new section of pillows and throw blankets. I definitely hadn't seen this set of embroidered eyeball pillows yet. Otherwise, most of what I was seeing were ones I had seen already this year. That bat printed one and this black cat pattern one are ones I don't know if I had. This was a small section of stuff that I definitely had seen as well. Good morning, ghouls and ghosties. It is the 22nd right now of July, and Ryan and I have a handful of haunt hunting stops planned for today. So we're going to a couple different areas that we don't get to super often. I think we've maybe went once this season, but there is a HomeGoods that is connected to a Marshall's, and then there's a TJ Maxx over in this area. We are going to go to all of those places. And then I think I need to stop at Costco, and I've heard that there's a couple things at Costco. I don't know if Costco ever gets too much, and I don't think I've ever bought anything spooky from Costco. I do get my trick-or-treat candy there, but I don't think that stuff is going to be there yet. But I'll just show you guys if I see anything. There might be another HomeGoods. I'm not really sure. I think it's going to be 2 HomeGoods and 1 TJ's. And the HomeGoods might be connected to a Marshall's. I don't know. All I know is we have quite a few stops, and I'm quite excited. I feel like this week I have been having some decent luck so far, finding a couple of the HomeGoods things that I've been looking for, and I've been seeing posts of just a few more things here and there that I want to keep my eye out for, and some of it I feel like I've been kind of like deciding in person when I do spot it, like if I do want it. I'm trying not to be like, oh, well, it was on my wish list, so I'm just going to throw it in my cart. I'm kind of like, okay, do I have a use? Will I use this? I'm trying to mature a little with my haunt hunting, so I'm pretty excited. We have quite a few stops. Like I said, please ignore my bedhead. It looks spooky, which is very fitting. Scary and spooky. But otherwise, later in this week, I do want to get back to my local HomeGoods, just because, as they had told me, and as we saw, they on Monday got a new truck in, and they were already putting a lot out, and so I want to see what else there is, because obviously in one day, or in like a couple hours, they can't get a full truck out, so I'm excited to take a peek at that as well. I still have the goal of going to Kirkland's this week. I think Kirkland's is the only place that has spooky stuff that we haven't been to yet. We'll see. I go to the city that Kirkland's is in quite frequently, so we will see. Anyways, let's get going. I'm excited. By the way, here is a look at my pumpkin plants. They are going absolutely crazy. I don't want to get like my neighbor's house in, but we do have this like arch that they're starting to climb up. Let's see. There's the downwards angle. The issue that I'm having once again this year, though, is I'm only getting male flowers growing, which means I'm not going to get pumpkins again, which is so frustrating and such a bummer. Anytime a pumpkin starts, like right here, it just dies. Well, I think last year I figured out that means there's like too much nitrogen in the dirt or not enough, and so I did try to fertilize it this year, but obviously that did not work. So I am still going to have to buy pumpkins this year, but I don't know. I like having the plant anyways. It looks like 2026 is my year to actually grow my own. But otherwise, I don't know, I'll just show you guys this quick. I think, what were these? Like squash of some kind, which probably also won't end up working. I'm like, what is all this stuff? I don't remember what this is. But then we have thyme. Our dill is so big and like heavy that it falls. There we go. I got the dill propped up, but it still always ends up falling anyways. But there's my dill. This is spearmint I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's right. That's like parsley, I think. Thyme. We have a small strawberry plant, a larger strawberry plant, a raspberry plant, tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, and a blackberry plant, unless I mixed up the raspberry and blackberry. But either way. Our first stop for today was a Marshall's HomeGoods combination store. And right away I spotted another kind of folky witch. I definitely like the one with the moons and stars on her dress more. I also spotted this black cat bust. I've seen that online in past years, but never in person. And this beaded crow was also really nice. The carnival looking spider was a new one to me. And I also don't think I've ever seen this giant open mouth jack-o'-lantern. It was $400 and it had a light in it. This thing is so huge, I could definitely crouch in it. Maybe I should get it as a tornado protection vessel. They also had another one of the battery-powered ghost blow molds here. They had some singing Mickey lights and this Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein very cuddly, cozy figurine. I really liked this carnival, funky looking folk jack-o'-lantern head. I kind of wish I'd picked him up, but I did not. And they had this really huge bat cauldron. It was all metal. Maybe I should make another candle. I'd need 70 gallons probably of wax. Speaking of the candle though, I did find another one of the cauldrons that I used. If you're looking for one, they are $24.99 and they say Hocus Pocus on one side. This was a new spider wreath I hadn't seen yet. It was pretty cool. And they had this door hang that looked like this funky shaped skeleton's arm and hand. This is a direct knockoff of Pottery Barn. Here is a photo of the Pottery Barn one. It is 1 for 1. It's honestly pretty insane. I've seen a lot of pillows this year, but I don't think I'd seen this 3D eek pillow, and I've actually never seen this wraith coming out of a picture frame. I've maybe seen it once actually, and it was broken. A lot of people really want this. It's pretty cool. This guy was in the Thanksgiving stuff, and I love him. He is a jack-o'-lantern face scarecrow. He's so cool. They also had all these new metal, kind of folk-ish looking skeletons that seemed to work at a carnival or something. There were a lot of different ones. If someone was a collector of these, they were all here, I'm pretty sure. There was also this new kind of skull bust piece. And this was another candelabra I haven't seen. It's a more gothic black one with a snake and some moths on it. They also had another Medusa bust. This one was really cool. She had green snakes. It almost reminded me of a Mother Nature figure. They had some new wine glasses with these pearl spiders on them. They had stemless and stemmed. They also had this cookie jar that was shaped like Zero in his house. It was really cute. There was this set of actually glass skull wine glasses. There were these vampire fang placemats. The material was really nice. It'd be very easy to clean. It's kind of like a plasticky material almost. And I'm so happy I looked in deeper in that section. Right on top of those, but tucked back, were the vintage postage stamp looking placemats that I have really wanted. I was so excited. They had this kind of oil slick metallic skull bowl. And they had some Caro soap dispensers that matched the towels we saw earlier. So we moved on to the standalone TJ Maxx in this city, and I found another new charcuterie board. This one was shaped like a bat. They also had these wall arts of a witch on a broom and a skull. I checked to see if they had another, and in fact, yes, there was a ghost in a forest one. If I had a child, I would totally get this dinosaur Halloween pillow for their bedroom, and outside of the TJ Maxx was a soon-to-be Spirit Halloween. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited! Next up, we actually went to Grand Central Station HomeGoods. And on the TJ Maxx side, they had a lot of new spooky accessories, headbands, hair clips, and all kinds of bandanas and stuff. I don't think I've ever seen so many Marvin the Mummies in one place. They actually had 4 here. They also had this new alien figurine. The aliens are kind of like dabbling their toes into this spooky season. They had some larger pieces like this big ghost made of resin. He had a lantern that was hanging from him, and then they had these large Dracula pillows. They also had this huge cemetery arch. It was honestly really cheap feeling, and it was $500. That is wild. They had this really cool stone candle of Medusa. It was so heavy, it was absolutely real stone, and this was $80, which for a candle is crazy, but you could totally refill this. It is so nice. They had added out some new bathroom items, some towels, and some rugs. Unfortunately, again, these are leaning towards the pink and bow side of things, so I won't be grabbing any. But oh my gosh, ghouls and ghosties, another thing I had never seen online or anywhere, these skull silverware pieces. These are so cool and right up my alley. They also had these glass and metal bat pieces. One was a bowl and one looked like a candle holder. In a kitchen end stand, they had this new shaker I hadn't seen yet. It was a bat embossed glass one. It was really cool. They also had this melamine tray. I really love the art on this. It's very fall and Halloween. So pretty. They had this bat embossed pitcher. This had actually been on my wish list. They had bat embossed wine glasses as well, and this more Halloween themed embossed canister. I was really debating the pitcher. It had been on my wish list, but when I was holding it, thinking about spending $17 plus tax, I just didn't know if I would have a use or place for it. Our last stop of the day was Costco, but I forgot to film a clip walking in. But in Costco, they did have some fall and Halloween rugs. There was a triple ghost rug, and then they had a double pumpkin rug along with a black lab with some pumpkins. These definitely leaned a bit more fall. But they also had some pillows. One was a jack-o'-lantern pillow that I think kind of was supposed to look like the Pottery Barn one, and then there was a spiderweb pillow and a different black pillow that was plaid spooky colors. The pillows were $10.99 and the rugs were $16.99. They also had some Disney Halloween stuff. Each year I see this stuff here, but I've never seen these almost yarn looking figurines of horror movie characters. I think the ghost face looked best, but they honestly kind of looked weird for the most part. As for the Disney stuff, they had this spooky ship with Mickey and characters on it. And they also had this Mickey-shaped jack-o'-lantern pumpkin, and they had a Nightmare Before Christmas scene. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to Thursday, the 24th of July. Right now, I am actually headed to my local HomeGoods and local Marshalls, and then I'm gonna really quick stop by my local at home. I'm really hoping that they actually have some more stuff out. I've been looking on their website and I have not seen that any new listings have been added, so I really don't know what to expect, but my hopes for at home are not super high. My hopes for HomeGoods and Marshalls are a little bit higher, only because I know the HomeGoods had told me that Monday they got some new stuff in, and I think I've only checked once since that happened, and there was a lot of new stuff, so I'm hoping it wasn't all out, because I think I went on Monday, if I'm remembering that right. Again, there was quite a bit out, but I assume if they got a full truck in, that was not everything. I doubt they get everything out in one day. And so I know that I said that I was gonna get to Kirkland's in this video, and I'm sure there's not really too many like Kirkland's stands out there that are like, ghoul, when are you going there? But I know I said I was going to, and I just don't think it's gonna work in this week. But I promise in the next haunt hunt, like I will do whatever to get to Kirkland's, just to show you guys something like super new, I guess, just to add in a new stop. Otherwise, for this haunt hunt, I'm fairly certain that tomorrow on Friday, so actually like the day you guys will see that video, I'm fairly certain that I'm gonna get to one more Marshalls that I went to quite a few times last year. They've been pretty slow this year, but they usually have some decent stuff that I feel like is like harder to find Marshalls stuff. I think I'm gonna get there tomorrow, and that's gonna be our last stop for this week. We're kind of in a weird little situation here. So next week is on Friday going to be a Halloween. I still have not figured out if that's gonna be in 2 parts on Wednesday and Friday, or if it's just gonna be on Friday. And if it's just on Friday, I haven't decided if I wanna do some kind of haunt hunt like halfway through the week or something. I don't really know. I'm kind of like up in the air on what I'm doing. I just know that Friday's gonna be a Halloween. It hurts my soul to not do a haunt hunt with you guys for another 2 weeks. I think we're already kind of getting in the season where I want to start doing 2 videos a week more frequently. I think next week is probably going to be 2 separate Halloweens. I think Wednesday might be Halloween part 1 and Friday might be Halloween part 2. I don't think I have nearly as much as I have had in past first Halloweens of the season, but I do have a good amount from like different places, and I want to give everything the time it deserves because I feel like it's some really good stuff. It's not as much. It's still like a good amount. Don't get me wrong. It's still quite a lot of stuff, more than a normal person would pick up, but it's such good stuff. I want to like talk about it. I don't know how much of this even made it into this video, but I feel like next week is going to be a Halloween part 1 on Wednesday, Halloween part 2 on Friday, and then the next week I'll probably see you guys on Wednesday for something as well, and we'll just have a really, really big haunt hunt that Friday. It pains me as much as it probably pains a lot of you guys to not do any kind of haunt hunt next week, but I feel like just to do Halloween, we have to. That's what it's looking like. Anyways, don't know why I went on this tangent. I guess I'm just trying to like discuss with you guys what's coming up. I mean, if it was my way, I would talk to my spooky friends, the ghouls and ghosties, every single day if I could choose. Anyways, we are almost to HomeGoods now, and I'm gonna go to Marshall's as well. Probably Marshall's first, that's usually what I do. And then tomorrow's probably one more Marshall's. I'm literally just giving you guys my raw, random thoughts. Okay. We're gonna go into HomeGoods now. Anyways, ignore my mess of a thought that I'm trying to put together. We're gonna go into Marshall's now, and we're gonna go into HomeGoods right after that. So I will catch you guys once we get in there. I ended up going to At Home first. Again, my hopes weren't really high. When I walked in, I noticed these normal colored, bone colored skulls to go with the large black ones. I didn't realize at first that they lit up, but apparently they do. They also had added a new animatronic that was like this witch kind of creepy looking lady with gray hair. It literally was called Pop-Up Creepy Woman. And actually they did have this pumpkin one that kind of looked like Lewis as well, but honestly evil Lewis. They had added a couple new things in the aisle, like this bendable, posable, very large spider. It was kind of a fluffy material and the eyes lit up. I definitely hadn't seen the fountain, and my hopes were kind of low for that. The aisle seemed to have mainly stuff that I'd seen before. Like, I hadn't seen these runners, but I honestly think I just didn't look close enough. They probably were here when I came here last. Same goes for these coffin-shaped wooden trays. They're really nice, but not really something I'm looking for here. This bathroom stuff might have been new. I'm happy it doesn't have bows and isn't pink, and I actually did really like this snake rug. I love the color combination. Anyways, At Home was a flop, so let's move on to my local Marshalls once again. Up at the front with the larger stuff, they had added a couple more things like this ghost cat, along with these kind of raffia woven ghosts, and this triple stack jack-o'-lantern set. On the end stand, they'd maybe added a few more mugs I hadn't seen before and a few more tumblers I hadn't seen before, like this gallery wall or postage stamp kind of looking tumbler. Also, these coasters I think were new. I do like the skeleton hand holder. It's quite high quality and heavy. In the aisle, it definitely looked like there was more, but I think they really just filled it with candles, pillows, and blankets, because that was mainly what I saw. So I moved on to HomeGoods. Hopefully we can have some better luck here, because the first two have been kind of bummers. My local HomeGoods now had 3 of the battery-powered blow mold triple ghosts. There was also this new wooden sign and this hipster jack-o'-lantern. I haven't seen anything inspired by hipsters in a long time. I thought this was so funny. This might have been a new ghost wall art piece. There was also this beaded garland that was pretty cute, and this wooden carved kind of crow that I thought was really cool. They had this blanket that matches my favorite kitchen towels from this year, and I love it. This color is so cool. It gives like a night sky kind of feeling when you look up and all the trees are branchy and it's just getting to be dark out. That's exactly what this reminds me of. And they had this blanket that matches the sheet set we saw a couple days back. It's kind of a like toile graveyard look. I love this one too, but I know I shouldn't get both, so I had to pick one. And you guys will just have to guess which one that is. They had this coffee sign that I don't think I'd seen before. Really cute for a spooky coffee bar. And they had their own version of skeletons popping out of a jack-o'-lantern like At Home usually does, and this ghost little martini glass. They also had some new ceramic pieces like this Peanuts mug. You guys know I'm not super into licensed stuff, but I think Peanuts Halloween is my one weakness. This was so cute, but I don't need another mug, but it's so cute. There was actually a few of them, so they probably won't be super rare to find if you're interested in one. They also had this Disney one too. And they had this melamine piece that was kind of a graveyard haunted house scene. It was really cool, but the shape would be hard to use for something. These were new black and gold mugs I hadn't seen before either. Not really my aesthetic, but they were kind of a new, unique look. I don't think I had yet seen this Ray Dunn Disney Villains mug. It was pretty cool. I like the shape of it. And they had some Peanuts plates of the scene where Snoopy pops out from the pumpkin. These are so cute. These were ceramic. Plus they had this mug I hadn't seen. Very, very cutesy. I actually did kind of like it. And they had these reusable plastic, almost beer pong shaped Hello Kitty cups. Some more melamine pieces. One had a really cute Halloween parade on it. They also had these cocktail stir spoons. I did not like how the skulls looked. Otherwise, this would be something I would like. And they had this mug. Okay, I wish the first mug had a little Snoopy peeking out, but I will say I like the print of the first mug more. They also had these melamine Snoopy cups. It was a set of 4 for $13. It is like my favorite scene from the movie where they're all in their costumes in the pumpkin patch. I'm obsessed. This was a new pink cauldron canister. They also had a silver witch's hat one and this utensil holder with snakes going all around it. They had some more of the embossed pieces I hadn't seen, like a pumpkin set of glasses, some of the more Halloween themed ones. And a lot of pink stuff I hadn't seen yet. Last up for HomeGoods, they had the kind of wood tree looking witch. This is one that people get instead of the Cracker Barrel one if they didn't get the chance to buy that one. It is pretty cool. Hello, ghouls and ghosties, and welcome to the 25th of July. Usually I can't think of the number date, but I almost couldn't think of the month this time. So actually, right now, I've already done all the stops for today. So the stops that we are doing today are, we are going to Marshall's. It is a Marshall's that I usually get to quite a few times in the season, and it's usually like the best standalone Marshall's that we have in our area. I think I've went once so far this season, and it was not good, but it probably was too early. So hopefully it can be better today. And then also we're going to Dollar Tree. I had totally forgot about going to Dollar Tree, but there was one right next to the Marshalls, and there's actually these like vintage, I'll put one of them up here, these vintage inspired, like, I don't know if they're pressed cardboard kind of, or if they're metal, but like skeleton and jack-o'-lantern and black cat kind of signs or stands. I don't really know what they are necessarily, but they're cool and I want to see them in person. So those are the stops for today. Let's get haunt hunting. Our first stop was Marshall's, but I actually decided I wanted to go to Dollar Tree after. But anyways, in Marshall's, they had some spooky soaps. They also had some spooky full-size bed blankets. This one was a faux fur one with a skull on it. This was $59.99. They had some with ghosts and some other ones with skulls. They had a lot of different sheets, like these dog sheets and these broom sheets that were really cute, and this bat and witch hat set of sheets. But this was my favorite. This was a queen size, unfortunately, and it was $50, but that pattern is so amazing. The actual decor section was not as exciting as the blankets section. There was this ghost embossed oil decanter that I hadn't seen yet this year. Otherwise, a lot of the stuff seemed like repeats. It seems like the TJ Maxx's and Marshalls are really, really slow to start this year. There were some ghost items over here, mainly, again, ones that I have seen, and a couple mummies. They had some kitchen towels. A few of them may have been new, but nothing was really anything crazy or to write home about. And then there was one more section of decor, and again, it didn't really impress me. I thought all hope was lost, and then in the checkout, I noticed there were Joanna Parker kitchen towels. These are so cute. I do think they are repeats from past years, but I hadn't seen these yet this year, so I was super excited, and they had these Eli and Anna super cute, super folk mugs as well. So then we made our way over to the Dollar Tree. I've seen they have some vintage inspired pieces this year that I really want to see in person, but up at the front they had some of the more classic kind of cheapy plastic Dollar Tree stuff and lights. They had their usual kind of more crafty section, the stuff you can color and paint and make wreaths out of, and some stickers. They had a couple ornament sets that were actually kind of cute. I was surprised, honestly, that they sell any shaped ornaments here. And then I moved on to the more expensive section. I think this is like the $5 and $7 section, and they did have some slightly better pieces here. One of my favorite things were these aluminum, tin, metal, whatever you want to call it, haunted houses. They were pretty nice and seemed a lot like ones you'd see at Michael's. Otherwise, they had these drink dispenser cauldrons and a couple doormats that weren't really my favorite designs. Plus they had some pillows. Again, not the highest quality, but this is the Dollar Tree, so you can't expect way too much. They had these plastic trays that were more witchy, and they had some cauldron bubbling pots that actually I think blew bubbles, so that was kind of cool. They had some kind of metal lanterns as well, and some candles. I was not seeing the vintage stuff I was in here to find, which was kind of a bummer because we don't have a ton of Dollar Trees around and I really just don't make it to them very often, but I guess I'll have to check one closer to me or something. Alrighty, ghouls and ghosties, so we have reached the end of Haunt Hunt number 5 already. It's literally still July, and we've done 5. That's crazy to me. Anyways, so I have kind of finally figured out what next week's gonna look like. If you'll remember, we were in the car a couple days back, and I had a brain fart. I had no idea what I was doing. So next week, I do have enough that I believe this is going to be a 2-part Halloween, which if you're new here means I am hauling the stuff that I've actually been picking up. HAULLOWEEN. Get it? So I'm going to be doing 2, and they're not going to go up on the same day, obviously. I'm going to do one on Wednesday, and then I'm going to do one on Friday. I think kind of like last year, the Wednesday one is going to be all of my non-TJX company stuff. Target, Kirkland's online, at home, Bath & Body Works if I picked up anything. Anything, anywhere but the TJX is what I think. If it isn't gonna work out that way and I do need to do some of the TJX stuff in it, I will. But either way, Friday is gonna be the big one. The one that has most of the stuff in it that I am definitely the most excited for. I am nearly 100% certain that's what we're doing. If I film part 1, and it really doesn't take me as long as I think, maybe it'll all be one video. I don't know. How about you guys let me know? What do you guys prefer? Say the Halloween was gonna be like 45 minutes long if I did it all in one. Do you just wanna see that on Friday? Or do you want like 2 parts Wednesday, Friday? Because part of me is like, I have a lot of stuff. This is gonna take 2 videos. And then part of me is like, it's not as much as last year. Do I really need to do 2 parts? I don't know. Guys, help me out here. I like that I started this off by saying I finally figured out what I'm doing, and I clearly have made no progress on that. Anyways, next week is the week of Halloweens to celebrate the turning of the calendar to the month of August already. Then we will be back haunt hunting the next week. I do once again want to ask you guys if you want to see any of my cauldron cooking. I definitely won't be doing it like every single Wednesday, but I am going to be making a lot of soups and stews and stuff, and I already have been. If you want to see any, I definitely can try to do some on camera. Otherwise, we have been checking stuff off the wish list all week long. Just watching back now as I was doing the voiceover, I'm like, wow, we like really have been scoring. I would love, and I'll ask this again in the actual Halloween, but I would love if you guys could like comment some of the stuff that you are kind of betting I picked up. Since I really don't show you guys or tell you guys as we go what stuff I'm actually grabbing, it's interesting to know what you guys think, because a lot of you, like, especially if you've been here for quite a few years, you're usually right. Like, you guys know me pretty well and my tastes and my interests, and I also definitely on some of the stuff hint pretty heavily that I might have grabbed it. So I guess we'll see if any of you are surprised by the stuff I picked up once it's next week. We've been having a very successful haunt hunt season thus far, and I feel like it is motating and moving and grooving, and it's going very well, and I'm having a very good time, and I hope you guys are as well. So ghouls and ghosties, let me know what your favorite pickups have been of the past week. Let me know things you think that I have grabbed that I will be showing you next week. Let me know any spooky things you've been doing this week. Have you seen any horror movies? Are you doing any summerween parties? Like, what's going on in your spooky lives? I look so glossy, it's so sunny, and I think that's all that I actually have for you guys today. So I will see you next week for a Halloween that will be in 1 or 2 parts. We will just find that out together. But for sure, I will see you on Friday. For sure. The one thing I can guarantee is I will see you next Friday. So I will see you next week, ghouls and ghosties. Goodbye.